Very good morning, students. Today we are going to think Britain turns to India. Why British people they started to think about India? Because already we have seen that in other continents, what they started that because of different reasons it was become declined. The growth of the indigo it declined in other continents. So they are thinking about India and how they will get maximum profit from India. Like that, they started to think. Faced with the rising demand for indigo in Europe, we have seen that one not only Britain, other countries of Europe also started to ask about indigo for their dyeing purpose or coloring purpose. Then the company they are thinking about indigo cultivation in different area, especially they are thinking about India because it is a tropical region that we know. And we can see that from the decades of 18th century, indigo cultivation in Bengal expanded rapidly, and Bengal indigo became to dominate the world market. Means the the best indigo started to produce here in Bengal. That's why in not only in British, other countries also started to purchase this Bengal indigo what we are producing here in India. And 1788, the 30% of the indigo imported to Britain that was from India. 30 total 100, if 100 units are there in that 30 units from India. Then 1810, you can underline like these dates that is important. 1810, the proportion of had gone up to 95%. Already we have seen that the other continents what they started to produce indigo plantations that started to decline, and they started to decline, and instead of that they started to use wood also that we have seen already. And that's why what happened in 1810 means 19th century, we can see indigo production what exporting of indigo to Britain, that is India's percentage, that is contribution, that is 95 percentage. As the indigo traders grew, commercial agents and the officials of the company began to investing in indigo production. Already we have seen that when the villages they started to desertification, they started to desertification because they are not getting proper income from that. That's why this went away. So what happened? The traders and the agents and the company officials they themselves started to invest for indigo cultivation. And over the many years, company officials left their job after some years. Means 1788 means 13 years difference we can see in between when they started to get maximum profit from indigo. That time company officials, though, like governor general, not a governor general, middle post people, those who got different official duty in East Indian company, they left their job, resigned their job, and started to think about indigo business as well as indigo plantation. Then the attracted by the prospects of high profit. Why profit? Then numerous Scotsmen and Englishmen came to India. Not only the company officials, other people, individuals also started to come to India. For what purpose? To become planters. They are giving seed and money to the people, and the peasants they will do so. They are becoming planters here, Scotland and English. Then those who had no money to produce indigo and get loans from the company. Company started to give loans, and the bank that were coming up in that time, the not only company, the small banks what started here in India with the help of British people or Indian people, that banks also started to give loan for indigo plantation because they are started to get better profit from that, not to the peasants but the planters plantation, those who are on the plantations. Then how was indigo cultivating? There is two types of cultivation, and it is one is niche cultivation and another one variety cultivation. And variety we know already, that is the peasants they themselves are cultivating. And niche what it is that we want to see because that is new word for us. Okay, so two types of cultivations it started for indigo. One is niche and another one is variety. And with the system of niche cultivation, the planters produce indigo. The planters started to produce indigo in the land that directly controlled. The planters they are controlling the land they are taking care of the land and other things. They think about what fertilizer they want to give, everything they are thinking, and they are cultivating. And with the he either bought the land or rented from the semindar, that for not for 2 years 5 years like that, it may be 30 years or 100 years lease they are taken, and they started to produce indigo. That is the cultivation of Nij. And right, we know already that it will come in the text, so we'll explain that time. So what is Nij cultivation means? Nij cultivation, the planters, they are taking land, controlling the land directly, as well as for the controlling purpose they are purchasing land or taking in lease or rented land from whom zamindars and producers. Then at the same time they will hire the laborers. They will collect the laborers from that nearby area, and they are giving wage to them. Okay, what are the problems faced with niche cultivation? Let us see. The planters found it difficult to expand the area under niche cultivation. In indigo could be cultivated only on fertile land. First problem what they face, that is the it should be the fertile land, and these already densely populated because it is in Bengal area. We know what is because of the Hooghly river and Ganga river, as well as Brahmaputra river. That area is very fertile, so thickly populated area, and there for indigo cultivation we want only fertile land that is already populated. Only small plots scattered over the landscape could be occurred here and there. If in between the housing plot or here and there they are getting the land, that's why they face problem, because they want to get the land for rent or lease for many years. And if it is like a single plot, it is very easy to look after. And if the plot is here here something, here something, here something, here something, like this, it is means it is difficult to look after. That is the first problem what they face. And planters need large area to compact blocks into cultivate indigo plantation. They want big land for cultivation, like big area they want, not like this small area. So that is another one problem what they face. Then they attempted to lease land around the indigo factory. Near to the indigo factory, they tried to get in a lease for 30-40 years lease. They started to ask and evicted the peasants from the area. If they are not, the peasants are not ready to give, the agriculture farmers are not ready to give land, then what they done, they said to the people, go away from here and cultivate, you can live somewhere else. And it made conflict and tension. Now also, not only in the time of British people, now also we can see, if we are starting one dam or something, the same problem we are facing. The people, we won't be ready to give land, our own land for making dams and other things. So what happened, the in niche cultivation, they land big large area for cultivation, and that also near to the indigo factory. And if the peasants are not ready to go away, the British people compelled them to go away. It made conflicts and tension in the society. Okay, so then the mobilizing the labor, that also was not that much easy, and the large plantations requires a vast number of hand to operate. And the labors was directly precisely at a time when the peasants are usually busy with their own rice cultivation. When the indigo plantation planters, they want to sow the seeds, so the sowing the seeds, that time also the farmers, they are doing their rice cultivation. And it is coming the rainy season, when there is rain or water facility, that time only people can do the sowing of the seeds. And that time it is same for rice or indigo, it is same. As the same time when we are harvesting, that time also it is same. So the people, ordinary peasants, are very busy with their own rice cultivation when they are sowing, as well as when they are harvesting the things. That is the second problem what they face. Then in niche cultivation on the large scale also required many plows and bullocks. They need for the preparation of the land, they need many plows and bullocks, and that also it is very difficult. On bigger of the indigo cultivation required to plows. In a small area they need two plows, and means if the person having 1000 or 2000 bigger of land, then they need, if it is 1000 they need 2000 plows. And investing on purchasing and maintenance of plows was a big problem. Third problem what they faced, the purchasing of the plows and bullocks, that is very difficult because it is the large area, and purchasing and maintenance, not only purchasing they want to maintain, and that also another third problem what they face. Then nor could supplied by easily to get in the from the peasants, because they are doing the same time. We already have discussed that one. The laborers, they won't come to the indigo plantations, because they are doing this rice cultivation. At the same time, the preparation time also same, so they want, it was not easy to find out the plows and bullocks from the peasants, because they are doing their they are doing work in their own field, especially for rice cultivation. Then last one, so we have seen 3 points. First one, the area it was difficult to get, that is first point. Second one, the laborers problem what they face. And third problem, the plow and bullocks problem what they face. Like the three system problem they face. Till the late 19th century, planters were therefore reluctant to expand the area under niche cultivation. The farmers, they was not ready to expand. Less than 25% of the land producing indigo was under this system. The rest was under the alternative mode of cultivation, that is a variety system. We have seen already right variety system. Okay, we'll continue that one in next video.